Nirmala Sitharaman has asked opposition to rethink the boycotting of new parliament buildings inauguration on Sunday. 20 pontiffs have been invited to install the Sengol like in 1947. JDS, BSP, latest among non-NDA to confirm attendance on the inaugural session. 21 opposition parties to boycott the inauguration. Amit Shah in Assam has claimed that Narendra Modi will be back as Prime Minister in 2024 with over 300 seats. Amit Shah is set to visit violence-hit Manipur from May 28th to June 1st amid criticism from Congress. Bihar headmistress thrashed by teachers in school even as students watch on. Three out of 4 cheetah cubs born in India die suddenly. This is almost from celebration to mourning over cheetahs. First cheetahs to be born in India in 70 years. Cause of death, according to officials, has been extreme weather and dehydration. Car crashes into Downing Gates. One arrested, according to police. Hello, I'm Sneha Koshi. Well, Prime Minister has taken jibes at the opposition for boycotting the inaugural session of the Parliament's new building on Sunday. This very much has been the epicenter of all politics of late. In fact, Nirmala Sitharaman has gone on to appeal to the opposition to do a rethink on their boycott strategy. Meanwhile, 21 opposition parties are set to boycott the inaugural session, and at least among the non-NDA parties that have confirmed attendance, JDS and BSP are the latest.
Back from an eventful three-nation tour to a rousing pre-dawn welcome. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hit out at the opposition for their decision to boycott the inauguration of the new parliament building.
भारतीय समुदाय का जो कार्यक्रम था, वहां ऑस्ट्रेलिया के प्रधानमंत्री का आना गौरव की बात थी। लेकिन इतना ही नहीं, उस समारोह में पूर्व प्रधानमंत्री भी थे। उस समारोह में पूरी अपोजिशन पार्टी के मेंबर्स थे, रूलिंग पार्टी के मेंबर्स थे।
BJP chief ministers, former cabinet ministers and top leaders all came down hard on the Congress and other 19 parties. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today took the battle down south to Tamil Nadu. With 3 governors by her side, including of Tamil Nadu and Telangana, she highlighted the Tamil royal tradition involving the Sengol, in a state that BJP has negligible presence in days after the BJP lost its only South government in neighboring Karnataka.
தமிழ்நாட்டிலிருந்து இப்பேற்பட்ட ஒரு பங்கு வகிச்சிருக்காங்க சுதந்திரத்துல, அந்த பரிமாற்றம், அரசு பரிமாற்றம் நடந்த நேரத்துல அப்படிங்கறத பத்தி நம்ம பேசுறோம். அதனால தமிழ்நாட்டில் இருக்கக்கூடிய எல்லாருக்கும் ஒரு பெருமிதமான ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சி இது. அதனால இங்க அரசியல் செய்யறதுக்கு ஒரு விதமான தேவையும் இல்லை. I'm surprised by this kind of an allegation. Parties which today see the Rashtrapati as a very eminent leader, particularly coming from tribal background, are the ones which undertook a very bitter campaign. I do not wish to recall the kind of words they used at that time. Leaders belonging to these very same opposition parties spoke ill of her, abused her, and today suddenly they become morally motivated, so encouraged to say, no, you're disrespecting her. And all of us are extremely proud of our Rashtrapati ji.
They cited several instances in the past when the then Prime Ministers opened wings or sections of the Parliament. The opposition, on the other hand, is adamant that the constitutional values are being discarded. Sharad Pawar, who met Arvind Kejriwal over the issue of Delhi Ordinance on Thursday, questioned whether the entire Central Vista project was at all needed.
वहाँ किसी ने कुछ अफसोस नहीं किया और ठीक है आपसे नया बनाए ये बनाने की बात तो हम लोगों को किसी को मालूम ही नहीं थी इसकी आवश्यकता क्या थी इस पर भी बहस हो सकता है.
Though there were additions today to the list of parties who have accepted the invite along with BJD, YSRCP, now Akali Dal will also attend the ceremony. Despite some parties in the opposition refusing to attend the ceremony, over 25 other political parties, including 5 big regional ones who do not belong to the NDA fold, will witness this historic day. Bureau Report, NDTV.
And news that has come in, Karnataka cabinet expansion will be happening on May 27. This is just a week, less than a week in fact, since the new Congress government in Karnataka was sworn in, led by Sitharaman. 25 new ministers are set to be sworn in on Saturday morning. I'm being joined by my colleague Arvind Gunashekhar. Arvind, there have been very strong backdoor negotiations happening on this. Several rounds of meetings have also happened. Have they finally been able to clock and finalize the names of the people who would be swearing in?
Yeah, Sneha, in a meeting that held in Delhi, both Karnataka Congress leaders along with the central leaders of the Congress party had a detailed discussion wherein we are being told by our sources that the party has finalized the names of 25 candidates who will be sworn in as ministers in the Karnataka government. So the all expected cabinet expansion of Sitharaman government in Karnataka will happen on Saturday at around 11:30 or 11:45 a.m. is what we are learning from our sources. So the cabinet expansion is expected on Saturday morning, and almost 25 new ministers will be sworn in. So earlier, 8 ministers were sworn in along with Sitharaman and DK Shivkumar as chief minister and deputy chief minister. So in total, Karnataka can have almost 36 ministers. So now Congress party will be expanding the cabinet by 25 new ministers. All the 25 will be sworn in on Saturday. So Karnataka Congress government will have 35 ministers. And what we are also being told is that tomorrow another meeting will be held in the national capital where Sitharaman along with DK Shivkumar will be meeting the central leaders of the party in order to finalize the portfolio allocation also. So post which Sitharaman is also expected to meet former Congress President Rahul Gandhi, and then we can expect the cabinet expansion in Karnataka on Saturday morning.
Right. Thank you, Arvind, for those details. And Home Minister Amit Shah is set to visit violence-hit Manipur from May 28th to June 1st and has said he will talk to all stakeholders to resolve the prevailing ethnic crisis which has continued since May 3rd. This comes at a time when Congress has criticized Amit Shah for not visiting Manipur even as over 70 people have lost their lives.
सबके साथ न्याय होगा और हिंसा करने वालों को हम बख्शेंगे नहीं, इसका विश्वास आप नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार को रखिए. मेरा अपील है मणिपुर के अंदर सभी भाइयों बहनों को कि आप एक बार पहले जैसे मणिपुर के लिए हम 6 साल से मणिपुर में शांति से आगे बढ़े, एक भी बंद नहीं हुआ, एक भी ब्लॉकेड नहीं हुआ, और आज एक अदालत के निर्णय के कारण जो विवाद हुआ है वो विवाद को हम चर्चा से, वार्ता से और शांति से इसका रास्ता निकालें. किसी के साथ अन्याय न हो, ये नरेंद्र मोदी सरकार की नीति है. मैं खुद कुछ दिन के बाद मणिपुर जाने वाला हूं और 3 दिन तक वहां रहकर सभी मणिपुर के भाइयों बहनों के साथ बात कर शांति स्थापना के लिए बात करूंगा. परंतु शांति तो मणिपुर के जनता ही ला सकती है. देश के अंदर जो लाखों
Mr. Shah's announcement in Guwahati was the first public statement by the Home Minister after ethnic violence between the Meiteis and Kukis over a High Court order which said the Meiteis should be given scheduled tribe status. This was objected to by the Kuki community who feared an infringement over tribal land and rights. The Supreme Court said recently that this order was wrong, though a final verdict is expected after the summer vacation. Claiming over 71 lives and injuring over 300 people, besides damaging government and private properties, the northeastern state has witnessed unprecedented violent clashes in more than 10 districts in the state since the beginning of May. In Guwahati, Amit Shah also met with a delegation of Manipur MLAs. Earlier, MLAs of the Kuki community had urged the centre for a separate administration for the hill areas of the state. The Congress has questioned why Mr. Shah hasn't visited Manipur yet, with their media head Jairam Ramesh tweeting, "The Union Home Minister goes all the way to Guwahati today but does not deem it fit to visit Imphal when Manipur has been burning for 22 days." Even though the Home Minister today and the Chief Minister have urged people of all communities in Manipur to maintain peace and ethnic harmony, the road ahead is not easy. Earlier this week, there have been fresh flare-ups, resulting in death, injuries, arson and another spell of unrest. With Ratnadeep Chaudhary in Guwahati, Anusaya Mathur for NDTV.
And imagine travelling underwater, that too under River Hooghly in Kolkata. That's right. Kolkata's unique east-west metro corridor has an elevated section and an underground section and even an underwater section. After multiple engineering challenges, construction of the underwater section, the showpiece of the entire project is now undergoing final phases of trial. Saurabh Gupta sends us this.
When it comes to metro railway history in India, Kolkata has a place in that frame. Simply because this city had the country's first metro railway system, and now it'll have the country's first underwater metro facility. 500 meters long tunnels below the Hooghly River, 32 meters below the water level, and this engineering feat is something that India, an emerging India, can celebrate. So the east-west metro corridor of Kolkata is starting at Howrah Maidan, and then of course it ends at Sector 5 in Salt Lake. 12 stations including the under-river section, and it connects the most important transport, railway and industry hubs in the city, including the central business districts of the cities of Howrah and Kolkata. On an average 32 meters below the surface, this tunnel of the metro alignment on the east-west corridor travels under the river Hooghly and connects the cities of Kolkata and Howrah. And this route and this alignment will soon be available for the public to use.
And an apparently simple argument over the shutting of windows in a school escalated into a physical altercation between a headmistress and two teachers in Patna. Students of Korea Panchayat Vidyalaya stood by and watched their teachers exchange blows, first inside the classroom and then in the field outside. Viral videos showed distressing visuals of a fight triggered by one party requesting to shut the windows of a classroom while the other refused. Through a grilled window, young students watched their headmistress Kanti Kumari and teacher Anita Kumari exchange heated words and blows. Absolutely shocking visuals. It's time for a short break. On the other side, we'll bring you a special report from Kashmir. And the three-day G20 meet on tourism held in Srinagar may have come to an end, but has left Kashmir and its locals with a new hope of a safer, stronger Kashmir that did roll out a royal carpet for participating foreign delegates.
Naya Kashmir rolled out a red carpet for 60 delegates from 27 countries for the G20 meet. Discussions, diplomacy, music and dance and sightseeing over the 3 days. The meet was a big feat for Indian government and security forces in the wake of immense security challenge. Over the 3 days, the delegates got a close look at the beauty and culture of Kashmir. Shikara ride on the iconic Dal Lake, cultural programs, trip to local handicraft markets, visits to the famed Srinagar gardens and conversations with the locals, and some golf. The G20 delegates say they were truly impressed by the hospitality and beauty of Kashmir, and the visit will remain an unforgettable memory. Speaking to NDTV, Shang Jae-bok, South Korean ambassador to India, said that Kashmir is a paradise on earth. Talking to media persons, he said that West must consider reviewing travel advisories regarding Kashmir.
As you said, this is paradise on earth. And then as far as the film tourism is concerned, I think there will be more filmmaking here. Okay. So the Kashmir will prosper in terms of tourism. Of course, there are some limitations to come here. This will be an unforgettable memory for me.
The mega event has renewed hopes for the locals that the global spotlight and the smooth conduct of the meeting will project Kashmir as an attractive and safe tourist destination and take its rich handicraft across the world. Mujtaba Qadri, who was part of the exquisite Kashmir Arts and Crafts exhibition organized during G20 meeting, says the delegates were deeply impressed by intricate handicrafts and beauty of the region. He hopes that the successful visit by G20 delegates will help to lift the travel advisories issued against visiting Kashmir by various Western countries. Several countries such as the US, the UK still have travel advisories in place cautioning their citizens against visiting Kashmir. Mujtaba has a message for them.
It's definitely a good start, and I see, once these people go back, they'll spread the word. Hopefully some of the restrictions that are here which have been put in place by foreign governments for tourist travel advisories that are there, hopefully they'll lift them so that more and more foreign tourists can come to Kashmir, wherein that will give us a huge boost in handicraft industry.
At Dal Lake, Abdul Razak Dar, a shikara wala, is happy that he had taken G20 delegates for a glittering shikara ride in the lake. The 70-year-old boatman says the meeting will send a strong message to the world about Kashmir. Over the last year, a tourism boom has helped him repay his debt, and after the G20 meeting, Dar hopes that it will future boost his income.
इस साल काम देखिए तो पिछले सालों में ये काम नहीं था, उससे हम बहुत मुश्किल में पड़ गए थे पिछले सालों में.
The government says 1.88 crore tourists have visited Jammu and Kashmir in the last 1 year. While most of the visitors have come for Mata Vaishno Devi pilgrimage, 26 lakhs have visited the valley. The number is expected to cross 2 crore this year.
This has been one of the most successful tourism G20 events, and the number of delegates here exceeds the number of delegates which have come at any other location.
Correct.
And there is a lot of enthusiasm because we have been telling about the progress in Kashmir, the way the law and order is improved, the way the tourists are coming. But then seeing is believing.
So I think a lot of places in Kashmir can be developed, but this would require very good resorts to be developed through the private sector, which has started happening in this government.
The event has sent a strong message to Pakistan that has been unsuccessfully raising the Kashmir bogey internationally for ages, and more so since the abrogation of Article 370, and its backers such as China and Turkey, who stayed away from the G20 meet. A loud affirmation of normalcy and prosperity in Kashmir from the global players.
I do feel that younger people, and particularly women, young women, there is a positivity there. But of course, one has to admit that a very large number of people are still sitting on the fence, and they are not in a position to say yes or no. After all, there is a pressure from both sides, the terrorist supporters as well as from the government side. So there are a large number of people who are sitting on the fence, and I think in time to come, not very late, but sooner than late, you will have more and more positivity growing amongst the public.
G20 meeting in Srinagar is seen as a major success for the government and brand Kashmir. It is a statement that Kashmir is peaceful to hold any such international event so smoothly. Security arrangements could not have been better than this. For tourism stakeholders, the biggest takeaway from G20 meeting in Kashmir is that it will send a positive message across the world, and more tourists will come to Kashmir. In Srinagar, Nazir Masoodi, NDTV.
And in some international news, a car collided with the gates of Downing Street in central London, where the British Prime Minister's home and offices are located. Police said a man was arrested at the scene on suspicion of criminal damage and dangerous driving. The Metropolitan Police Force said there were no reports of injuries. It was not immediately clear whether Thursday's crash was deliberate. Police say they were working to establish the circumstances. Public access to the street is restricted and the gates are protected at all times by armed police officials.